What you're looking for in a slider is late deception and significant break. You'll see how high this ball is when it's approaching the plate. There's that late break, and that's what results in a swing and a miss. He has a 41% whiff rate on this pitch.
Coach, you talked about managing differently in the postseason, not being as aggressive but more pragmatic. How have the guys performed according to that game plan coming in?
To put it plainly, if the Mavs want to keep up, Luka has got to get some help offensively. Now, whether that's through design sets, whether that's just simply some guys making their free throws, they've got to do something to, like you said, Nancy, crack 100 for the first time in this series if they want to keep up with the best offensive team in the NBA this season, Joe.
That was a frustrating one against Indiana. I mean, I think the biggest takeaway was yet another slow start. I mean, they missed their first 5 field goal attempts to start the game. They go 1 of 6 to open things up, and before you blink, the Mavs are trailing 15-2. These slow starts are killing them. And the fact that they were able to get back in it says, okay, there's some resiliency to this team. They obviously, I mean, they led at one point by just 2, but they led. But you have to exert so much energy when you dig a hole that big to start the game that it's really hard to hold that through all 4 quarters. And that's what you saw at the end. They just ran out of gas there in the 4th.
That's right, Chad. He told me that that was the biggest shot of his college career, that moments like that are exactly what he dreamed of as a little kid. Now, guys, we know most teams in college that are this young can't come back from 10 down with 5 to go, but this team, led by that freshman, did just that. And is joining me now, Coach. Couple good chances there in the first half, but incredible saves by Damian. How do you get past him in the second?
We talked all week about Red River, but there is another team that we care about in the state of Oklahoma. Talking about our Cowboys, of course, not just these, but the ones there in Stillwater, where we find our very own CJ Macklin for a preview of Oklahoma State's game.
Season high, 16 points. You look like you were just having so much fun out there. How did you feel tonight?
You know, it's just so much fun to be out there with my team again, you know, be out there on the court with my coaches, following the game plan. It's really fun out there again. It's nothing but fun. Like, I'm trying to let the light shine through me, honestly.
How is your perspective different now coming back from the injury and having to be sidelined for so long? How does it change how much you enjoy being out there?
I was right in the world again with Big 12 football returning to Norman for the final time. OU hosting Iowa State. And when you have numbers like the Sooners averaging 8.3 yards per play, 18.9 yards per completion in just the first half, well, you know things are going pretty well. So what did that exactly look like?
Held them to just 17 second half points. I know defense was your emphasis coming out of the locker room. What was the difference?
Well, we knew we had to step up. We knew we had to get stops, and the defense stepped up. Everybody took ownership. We said we had to come in here and do it together.
All right, Coach, I'm going to talk to the star of your team real quick. Thanks so much, Aaliyah. I'm going to get to your relationship with that one, but first, game high 17 points. How much does it mean to you to get this win over top-ranked Tulsa?
Oh, my God. It means a lot.
It actually stays pretty high in the zone, so it's more of a 2-seam fastball than necessarily a sinker, but nonetheless, a very effective pitch. Now, on this one, what we're looking at is his command of the strike zone. If you've ever heard people talk about painting the corners, this is what they're talking about. This ball is right on the edge of the plate. 1, very hard to hit. 2, coming in at 94 miles an hour.
Chad, Coach Hunter just honed in on that defense. I said, all right, anything you liked about the first half? He said, no, honestly, not much. And it was because of our defense. We were late on everything. I didn't like the energy that we played with. If we're going to win this one, it's going to be on the defensive end of the floor. You mentioned, Pooh, how well Tulsa's shooting the ball. They're shooting over 50%. You can imagine how unhappy Coach Hunter was with that number. He wants to see them improve on the defensive end in the second half, guys. You talk so much about your staff, how you guys are family. I saw you run over to them as soon as that final whistle blew. You guys jumping up and down. What does that group of people mean to you into this championship?
Check in with Michelle Montaigne.
Yeah, and I checked in with Coach Hardaway of Memphis. The first thing he told his guys was, hey, I want you to act as if you're down starting the second half. Don't get complacent. You need to respect these guys. And then coming into this game, guys, we knew he wasn't happy with their effort, the way they competed in their last 2 games. I asked him specifically about that. He said, no, they're doing much better here tonight, Chad.
They're probably not all so happy to see Dylan Gabriel having this season that he's having to start 2023. In fact, let's take a look at some of his very impressive stats. As I said earlier, he leads the Big 12 in both accuracy And in touchdowns, he's done a really good job of using his legs this year.
Yeah, Jason, I don't think it's an overstatement to say that this is a must-win game for the Cowboys, even though it is still just September. I mean, you think about their upcoming schedule, the fact that this is a division opponent. Cowboys certainly don't want to move to 3 straight losses, but there is good news on the horizon. Cowboys have a 6-game win streak against the Giants. That is their longest active win streak against any opponent. In fact, they've actually won 13 of their last 14 against New York.
So maybe 2 strikes there against Sam Acho, former Longhorn, and admits he's not a Cowboys fan, and he's an Eagles fan, which maybe is even worse.
Did you just call being a Texas alum a strike?
In this area,